Now this one is called the Meadow Lark's Concert. Oh, your grandmother wants you to know that all of the birds you're hearing about in here she grew up with, and she loved them so much. The meadow lark isn't one of the prettiest birds, but it sings the prettiest. Once upon a time, Meadow Lark decided to give a concert of song in honor of Prince Spring. She asked Mr. Woodpecker to post a notice of the concert on the trunk of an oak tree, which he was glad to do. Before many hours had passed, all the little people of the wood had read the notice. Tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, please be here to welcome Prince Spring. Come one, come all. Then all the birds of the air began to sing their sweetest songs and to prepare for the concert. At last all was ready. A chariot drawn by butterflies carried the Queen of the Fairies and the charming young Prince Spring to the place of meeting. Oh, I wish you could see these beautiful fairies, children. They're so darling. Fairy Queen and Prince Spring were greeted with many cheers. Chirping sparrows gave the signal of his shrill pitch pipe for the concert of songs to begin. The warblers sang a joyous welcome. This was followed by the humming of the black and gold bumblebees. Mr. Bullfrog croaked a bass solo, and Mr. Woodpecker played a tattoo on the tree of the trunk. Song Sparrow chanted a melody, while the frail little butterflies, whose music is in their hearts, kept time to the soft chanting with their fluttering wings. Meadowlark, soaring in the air, twittered a few low, sweet notes as she alighted upon the top branch of a tall maple tree. Then, as clear as the tones of a fife, was the tune that she whistled. Red-eyed Vireo began to preach. Do you hear me? Do you believe it? Jolly Bobolink would not listen, but sang his own rollicking song. Noisy Blue Jay called Jay, and tried to mimic Red-eyed Vireo. Oriole, swinging in her nest at the end of a branch of the elm tree, whistled rich, ringing notes, and Nuthatch sang a tenor solo. The twittering of swallows sounded merrily in the air, and the scarlet tanager, perched high on the branch of an oak tree, sang, Look up, way up, look up at me, treetop. Goldfinch called from the birch tree, Hear me, dearie. Very hummed a sweet alto note to wood thrush's flute-like notes as they warbled their mating song. Oh, these fairies are so pretty, so pretty. Yellow Warbler twittered softly, sweeter. Little Wren, flitting quickly about, suddenly perched upon a bush and burst forth with a joyous song. Sweetheart, sweet. Then Robin hopped to the chariot and sang a carol to Prince Spring, while Bluebird chirped a greeting to the Queen of the Fairies. Fearing lest some might not hear the concert in the woods, Southwind carried the many sounds over hills and through the dales. Oh, there was wonderful music everywhere. Presently all became very quiet, and then suddenly, the dainty fairies tripped in. They were dressed in silken gowns, and oh, if you could just see them, spun and woven by the spiders. The trees rustled their new leaves, while the fairies danced to the tune of the nearby brook and waterfall. The flower elves formed a ring and tripped around merrily to the chimes of the lily bells. Snowdrop, violet, and crocus nodded in time to the music. Finally, the Queen of the Fairies waved her golden wand, and a choir of sweet songsters sang in chorus, Long live Prince Spring! The music echoed far and wide, and when the last sound had died away, the merry throng dispersed. Prince Spring was delighted with Meadowlark's concert. He promised the happy birds that he would remain with them until Princess Summer should come. And that finishes Boys and Girls. All the grandchildren I love so much, the stories loved so much by your mothers and daddies. Children, I noticed in replaying this that I made a few mistakes, like the woodpecker pecking on the tree of the trunk, but maybe that will be fun for you anyway. Grandma loves you. Have a beautiful Christmas.